Okay, subtracting polynomials is a little bit more difficult than adding polynomials, but just like subtraction in itself is a little bit more difficult than adding, we have to remember that with subtraction, order matters. So if this polynomial is going to now have this subtracted from it, and you're going to stack these, you need to make sure that the first one goes on top, the second one goes on the bottom. Using the same strategy that we did for addition, we're going to stack them with like terms in a vertical line. So the first one comes first. We have this polynomial minus the second. So 3x squared plus 6x minus 5. And we're going to be subtracting the second polynomial. So get them lined up. This is your subtraction symbol. That is not a negative 5x squared. Okay? Minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 2. And I'm putting the second one in a parenthesis, or rather keeping the parenthesis around it, because I need to remind myself that I'm not just subtracting the 5x squared. I also have to subtract this and subtract that. Okay, and that's why subtraction gets a little tricky. So what I'm actually starting off with now is a negative 5 minus a positive 2. That's the same thing as saying negative 5 minus 2. Okay, this is negative 7. We have a 6x minus a negative 4x. Now I have a double negative. 6x minus a negative 4x is actually adding them together, and you have a positive 10x here. And here we have a 3x squared minus 5x squared, which gives us a negative 2x squared. Okay. Another way of looking at this, probably should have done this method first so I didn't have to rewrite it, is to consider this negative a distribution. Okay, so 3x squared plus 6x minus 5 minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 2. And if we were to distribute that negative to everything, we'd really be adding the opposite. And what we would now have is a sentence we could write where we could combine like terms. 3x squared plus 6x minus 5, and then say distribute this to here, and now this is a negative 5x squared. Distribute this here, and the double negative becomes a positive 4x. Distribute this here, and this becomes a negative 2. And now you're combining like terms like we had before. So a 3x squared minus 5x squared is a negative 2x squared. 6x plus 4x is 10x. Make sure you have your symbol. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. And you'll see that that does match that. Just another way of looking at it.